Well, hello everyone. I'm Rachel Tessman from StampYourArtOut.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator from Andover, Minnesota in the US, and I'm here to bring you a live paper crafting class. It's been a while. I think the last class I had was on Tuesday of last week, and then my son, Luke, came home from California on Wednesday, and we've been in vacation mode basically ever since. I've posted very little, and anyways, I'm apologizing that you haven't seen things from me lately, but I have a ton to share with you today. I do want to also let you know that in addition to that fun occurrence in our family, I did experience a wonderful event that my upline Susan Campfield hosted on June 28th. So in the blog post that's connected to this video, there's a link, by the way, in the description. If you go there, you'll be able to see photos of the cards that I'm sharing today, that I'm demonstrating today. I don't have the variations, so you're going to see even more in this video. So those aren't photographed in the blog. I also have two other cards that are similar style fun fold that I've created, and then three others that Susan designed that we got to make at this June 28th event. So this June 28th event basically inspired what I'm doing with the Washes of Gratitude Kits Collection Kit today. So we're gonna make some fun folds. How does that sound? And welcome, welcome. It's so fun. I saw that Joyce, E805W, joined as a art fan. So thank you so much, Joyce, for supporting my channel monetarily. When you become a channel member, whether it's at the fan level or the supporter member, you're helping out my channel monetarily. And I did just need to invest in a new laptop. So technology is expensive, and I appreciate all of you guys who do support me in that way. You don't have to, though, just to let you know. You can also just subscribe to my channel, and you can click on the bell to get notifications so that you're always alerted to when I'm doing my live classes. These are free to you. So yay. Enjoy. Let's welcome Trisha Josephs. Trisha Josephs is here to be my moderator once again this week on Wednesday, and she answers questions. She leads you in the right direction to find things. She helps brainstorm with you even. I've seen lots of great conversations going on between you guys and Trisha in the past lives, and I appreciate her so very much. So thanks, Trisha, for being here again today. And thank you to those of you who are continuing to come back and who are new. Let's dive in, shall we? Let's go to the desktop. I want to show you the cards that we're going to make today. So these are the cards, and let me zoom just a bit here because we're kind of far away. These are fun fold cards. They are called, oh gosh, let me, I have to go back to my blog post. Hang on, it's probably in the description of my video too, right at the top. There it is, triple panel standing. So there's so many fun folds out there. It's crazy. You can just like change a corner on something or change one fold differently and you have a whole new card. It's crazy. But this one is one of those easy and common and well done. Like people love this one. It's pretty easy to make. It's kind of like the Z fold card, only it's got two Z's in it. So yeah, or it's like an easel card. It's one of those simpler ones. So it's not going to confuse too many people. You don't need to have like any big tools to do it. In fact, all I've done is take the supplies from the Washes of Gratitude kit, and you can see it currently it makes 5 of 2 different designs. I've taken the supplies from one, taken the supplies from another, and turned each of them into just a fun fold card. I'm not multiplying the cards in this kit this time. I'm showing you how to make a variation of the cards. Otherwise, these just basically open, you know, like a normal card, like this, right? And they are very pretty in and of themselves, but I thought, why not make them a little bit more spectacular by turning them into fun fold cards? And you'd think that you wouldn't have enough designer paper, but we also have envelopes. So the envelopes bring in some extra beautiful pattern paper to use throughout our card. And so because you're cutting up the envelopes, you're gonna need to bring in some extra envelopes. And because we're cutting up the card base and we're redesigning it, you're bringing in cardstock. So basically all I added was basic white cardstock, basic white envelopes, some tools, of course, right? Because we want to have trimmers and scoring blades and all that. But that's it. That is it. I didn't use any inks. I didn't bring in any stamps. This kit, in fact, is one of those card kits where you don't need to have inks and stamps. It just comes with the consumable words in there, the thanks, the thank you. These are already printed on paper. You punch them out and stick them on. So, well, Denise, I'm glad that you're not traveling now. Oh no, you are traveling. Seems like you're always traveling when you're on. And hi, Paula. It's so good to see your name pop up. Okay, so I'm glad you guys love this. We're gonna get started. Let's go ahead and take the supplies from the kit. And I have already done this 3 times with the kit supplies. So I only have supplies for 2 more sets of each left. So here's 1 set, 2 set, right? Okay, we're gonna just divide it up. So these are the pieces that you would get. We need 2 envelopes on each, right? 2 and 2, and we need 2 card bases on each. So here's the supplies that you would get to make one of each of the 2 different cards. And this is the supplies you need to make another one. So this is 1 set, this is 2 sets, 3, obviously, and then I made 2 other sets with different colored cardstock in the background, so you could see and decide for yourself what you think is more exciting for you to create with, okay? Yes, you can, Tina. I love it. I think I can do this fun fold. This is an easy one. In fact, you could, have 1, 2, 3, 4 different measurements for the score lines, but I'm only going to give you 2. So you'd only have to memorize 2 measurements, okay? We're going to make it so it's easier. I want to show you what else is in the kit. You get some embellishments, and I've obviously used a few of them already. And then you get adhesives. So here are the adhesives. You get little flat glue dots, and you get dimensionals that are the mini kind. I'm supplementing with some extra dimensionals, so I have like the regular size dimensionals in here just for bigger spaces, and then I brought in some mini dimensionals. I'm also using my seal adhesive because this is my adhesive of choice for going quickly. You could also use multi-purpose liquid glue. Okay, so that's a very inexpensive way to adhere things. You can get way more things put together with a bottle of glue than you can with seal adhesive, just so you know, if you're trying to budget. And then I'm also bringing in glue dots because the ones in the kit, where are they? The ones in the kit are great and they will work. They kind of replace your seal adhesive, right? But they're also flatter. And so I wanted to bring in the regular mini glue dots because they have a little bit of a lift to them, and I wanted some pieces to be up higher. I'm not using that. I don't know why that's in my pile. Oh, that goes over here. Okay, and then for tools, I'm using the Take Your Pick tool to help me shift some embellishments over to my cards at the end. I'm using my new detailed scissors. By the way, this debuted with the new, what month are we in? The new July release products, the online release products. But as of this morning, I just got a notification. The detailed scissors is available, but it's on low inventory. So add it to your cart right now. It wasn't supposed to be available until like late August because a lot of it was sold out. But I think they got a shipment in that they weren't expecting. Back to low inventory this morning though, so check it out if you want to get in on the detailed scissors. And then I'm using the bone folder and my trimmer. So those are the basic tools. Let's zoom out just a tad and start cutting. Oh, and if you are not familiar with kits, oh my gosh, you need to be watching my channel. I'm a kit fan. I love taking the supplies and kits and altering them to make different projects. Paper Pumpkin is what I started out with. Those kits are the oldest of our kits in our Stampin' Up! Line. They are surprises, so when you get them, you don't know what's coming, right? You just have to take a chance. So I started making alternates with them years ago, back in 2013, because I wanted my subscribers to those kits to know that there are other options. That was the main purpose of me making alternates. And then all of a sudden, everybody's making alternates, right? I mean, I didn't start it. I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying that that is a popular thing to do, right? We're making alternates with these kits because we want people who are getting them to have options. I make scrapbook pages with them. I make 3D projects with them. I oftentimes, and this is more recent, multiply what you can get from the kit. So you'll want to check out my channel if you are a kit fan or you're just new to kits, because you can see all the options. You get a little flyer inside all of your kits, whether they're paper pumpkin kits or whether they're these. These are the Kits Collection kits. The Kits Collection line is different from paper pumpkin in that you can see what you're getting before you buy it. So those are available to everybody. So you can shop in the online store and pick what you're getting and purchase it. So you may like to make the cards as shown, but I still like to give options for those. So that's basically our kits line. All right, let's start cutting these pieces up. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna create the card base, okay? Back to unavailable. Oh, we got an update from Trisha. Thank you, Trisha. The detailed scissors are now unavailable again. Okay, just put a little, there's a little check mark that you can do when you're in the online store. So you log in, go to the online store, log in and go to the detailed scissors and then click that little notification button so that you can get an email when it's back in stock. All right, we're gonna make 2 of these, right? We're gonna make the pink version and the green version. So we might as well just score our cardstock together at the same time. We're going to score, and now these are the 2 score lines, there's score marks you wanna remember, okay? So 1 7/8, and let me zoom in so you can see where that's at. All right, 1 7/8. It is positioned 2 little marks on the Stampin' Trimmer before the 2, okay? It's before the 1 3/4 and before the 2. So you're gonna go right up to that 1 7/8. Make sure that your edge here is nice and squared off, looking down the sides to make sure that your edge of your paper is parallel to the lines on the trimmer. And now I'm zooming out again. So we have it positioned this way, the long way. And we're gonna score using the light blade of our trimmer, okay? We've now just made a little mark in there, a little score line, okay? We're gonna shift it now to the 3-inch mark. That's easy to remember too. So 1 7/8 and 3 inches. It's the same thing, it's a symmetrical card. So if we flip it over, it's the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna flip it around this way. Hi, Rosie. Good to see your name pop up too. And we're going to go to the 1 7/8 again. So just under the 2, score, and go to the 3-inch mark and score. Those are the 2 score lines. Do it on each side, then turn your cardstock in half if you're doing 2 at a time or you're doing your whole sheet at a time, and cut it at 5.5 inches. So your card base starts out as 5.5 inches tall by 8.5 inches long. It's a half a sheet of cardstock. Now we're gonna fold. So we're gonna take our bone folder and we're gonna score or fold on the score line. And then we're gonna fold this way. Okay, so we have, and it doesn't really matter because once you start folding it, you're not gonna see all those creases. But we're doing a zigzag. So if we did a zigzag back and then forward, right? Back or down and up, this one's gonna go up and then down, right? So you're gonna make a mountain, a valley, a valley, a mountain, a valley. Does that make sense? So fold one way, then the other way, then keep it that way, and then fold the other way again. And you now have your triple panel standing, your triple panel standing card, okay? There's the base of it. It fits into our envelope. As you can see, we have it fitting right in there like that. You can see it fits. And so, perfect. It's perfect, ready to go. And when you want to display the card or when you get it in the mail and you open it up, you can stand it and keep it on display. Let's go ahead and fold this one. So we're gonna fold, it doesn't matter which way we start. So I'll go this way this time. So forward, back, back, and forward. Okay, got that, you guys? We can do it. Okay, we have 2 bases. Now we need to cut into our envelopes because we're gonna have some decorative strips on the back side of our cards. So you can see that we have this little panel here and this little panel, And it is just under 1 7/8. It's actually 1 5/8. It's a 1/4 of an inch shorter. So we're gonna cut out 1 5/8 inch wide strips. To do that, I think it's best if we separate our designer paper portion of our envelopes from the white paper. So we're gonna trim off the bottom. We're just covering up that dark little area of our trimmer when we cut. So I'll do that again. We're gonna do it on the sides now. So here's where the channel is, right there. And if we go just past it and cover up that dark spot, we are now cutting off about 1/16 of an inch, okay? And that opens up our envelope. Let's flip it over and do one more cut this way. And now we have our envelope in 2 pieces. We're gonna do that with the other one because we definitely have to cut into 2 in order to make this work. You will have some extra envelope paper left over, but you can either recycle it or you can take and make more projects with it. I'm gonna go ahead and recycle mine. I'll show you what those size pieces look like when we're done. Okay, so we have all of those. And now we have 2 little sections, or 2 large sections that are printable, that are nice designer paper size pieces. We're gonna cut at 1 5/8, and I'm layering them together because they're thin paper. So when you stack them, you can cut them at the same time. We're gonna go to 1 5/8, okay? So that mark is right after the 1 1/2 by 2 little dashes. All right, we're gonna trim. We'll do that again, 1 5/8, and trim. So this is how much designer paper you have left, and then you also have a lot of this too, if you want to use that on another project. We're gonna take these pieces now, and yes, I'm stacking them one more time. Again, envelope paper is thinner. We're gonna cut at 5 1/4 inches. So here's 5, not 5 1/2, but 5 1/4. We're gonna go to 5 1/4 and trim. So now we have 4 papers that will go on the back side of our 2 cards. I'm gonna set those over here. We're gonna clean up this little mess here. Now it's time to cut our card bases. So when I was looking at this card design, I thought to myself, oh gosh, it'd be so pretty to have some green on this side and some green on this side. How much does that use? And I ended up realizing that I only will have like 1 inch of this green left. So it's gonna cut off 3 1/4 inches of that paper. And I'm only gonna be left with 1 inch of the green on the front. At first I was like, I don't wanna do that. Maybe I should come up with a different card fold. And then I thought, no, just try it out. So we're gonna try it. And I'm gonna show you what happens. We're gonna cut off, because we need to have the same width that we had for our envelope, because that's on the back, and we need that same width on the front. So we're gonna go again to 1 5/8, and we're starting it with it upside down because that's easiest for me to cut. You can, do you guys know this? You can use the bottom portion of your trimmer. Like you can put things against down here too if you want to. Anyways, so 1 5/8. I'm gonna trim that off. And there's one panel to go on the front of the card. Then another 1 5/8. And it was making me nervous when I was doing this. But this is still very, very pretty in and of itself. So let's go ahead and take that now and cut that to the width we need for the front of the card. The front of the card is 2 1/2 inches wide. So we want to go 1/4 of an inch narrower, and we're going to go to 2 1/4 inches, okay? All right, here we go. You ordered 2 of these kits already? Oh, I love it. Okay, so we're going to cut at 2 1/4. And there's where what we have for the front. And I already messed up, you guys. I already messed up. I'm so sorry. I'll show you what I did. I do this all the time. And then we'll do another one, 2 1/4. I'll show you options. Let's do the next one. But this time, let's do an initial cut in the correct place first, Rachel. We're gonna bring this to 5¼ inches tall first, okay? 5¼ That gives us a nice long pink strip that we can use on the back side of our card. Now we can go ahead and cut at 1 5/8, 1 5/8. And with kits, you check, you double check, you triple check before you do your cutting, which is what Rachel didn't do on the first card, because once it's cut, right? Then you have to come up with some other creative plan. And then the next one is 2 1/4 and 2 1/4. Why are we doing a 2 1/4 if it's white and white on white? Because this is a different white. This white in the kit is different than the white cardstock. And oftentimes I like to use the white willow cardstock with kit white because I think it's a cooler white and it works really well. But I thought, you know what, let's show this off by having a brighter white underneath as the base and see how it works. And I actually love it. I'm taking these 2 strips and we're recycling those. And then, so we have all these pieces cut correctly. Okay, those are cut correctly. But Rachel forgot to cut the tiny little 1/4 inch strip off of these. So for these, we're just gonna cut them down to 5 1/4, 5 1/4. I'm trying to remember, did I cut off the top or the bottom? I think I did the top. Okay, 5 1/4. Just making it consistent because these are gonna puzzle piece kind of with those 2, right? The other one is gonna be off to the other side. So I'm gonna keep this, and let's see here. That one gets cut off the top. All right, I'm gonna keep these 2 pieces and I'm gonna show you another option that I did on one of my cards. So there's that. That's what we should have had for that. And we should have had a long strip. There we go. Okay, we're done with cutting except for the circle. So now let's go ahead and assemble. We'll do the pink one first because that one I did correctly. All right, let's go ahead and add these. So first you want to look at your paper again and you want to puzzle piece it back together because this one's going to be in the middle. This one's going to be to the right of it. So it would be nice if these 2 kind of flowed into each other, and this one will shift over to the left side. So that's the order in which we're going to adhere them to our card base. And I'm going to use my seal. You could use your glue. You could use the glue dots that come in the kit. So, hey Cindy, good to see your name pop up on here. And Maria Christina says it's toasty. I saw Rose's comment earlier too. It's pretty warm where you guys are at right now, isn't it? It's supposed to be 101, you said, Rose, I think. Okay, we're gonna stick that down. That's pretty hot. Then we're gonna put this one down. So all of your base pieces are gonna go on beforehand. Make sure that that's correct. Yes, it is. We'll add that here. And then we'll add this piece to the back side. Actually, before we do that, let's add this. So this is where I'm gonna bring in the glue because it's a little thinner to add. Okay. We'll stick that across the bottom. We'll let that dry a minute and we'll trim it off. And that will go on the back side. Okay, for this piece, we're gonna do our trimmer one more time and we're gonna cut off 5/8 of an inch of the circle. So we're positioning the circle where this is almost to this 3/4 of an inch line, 1 3/4 inch line, but it's a little bit further up. And this one is right smack dab in the middle between 3/4 and 1/2. So, and then you're using the lines of that circle to make sure that they're parallel with the lines that are going this way on the trimmer. And we now have this, it's kind of like an illusion of a pot. Our flowers are not going in the pot because the stems are going to be outside of it, but it gives that kind of encompassing little bowl feel to it. And this we're just gonna put back in the design too. You don't have to, but we will. So we have that look, and this is gonna go on next. We'll just do that flat. Flatten this down. stick the bottom of the bowl, calling it a bowl, at the bottom of this designer paper piece here, and then trying to center the two sides so they look even, keeping this parallel to the bottom of the card, okay? So there's that. Then, and that's gonna go with that one. Now we're gonna bring in the flowers that go with it. This one here uses this really delicate, intricate little white silhouette. And it's very delicate, like you can bend it super easily. We're gonna flip it over and we're gonna put dimensionals on the back side of it. Then we've got these two pieces, 1, 2 for these cards. We're using the same pieces that are assigned to the card. So I'm not crossing over, I'm not mixing and matching, but you certainly can. We're using the same pieces and to make our design. So down here, you see how there's this big circle here? We're gonna take and put a big dimensional right there in that spot. And then we're gonna use the small dimensionals, and again, you get these in the kit, to add in a few other little lifted areas here. I'm gonna cut, let's go ahead and cut one of these down into a couple tinier pieces here. We'll add one here just to give it some stabilization. And you can go all the way out to the tippy top of this if you want to, or you can just put them in a few areas just to kind of evenly lift. Okay, that is done. We're gonna peel off the backings. I still have my glued paper drying here. We're gonna trim that next, I think. Okay, so we have all of those off. Here's our very, very delicate piece. We're gonna flatten it down, and then we're just gonna kind of add it by guiding and kind of centering by looking at the top, because the top I don't have any dimensionals on. So if I have it tilted on my card, I can kind of tilt it where I need it. I can bring it over here, I can bring it over there, and it's not sticking down yet until I start coming closer to the base with that circle. Because now here's where all the dimensionals are, right in that spot. And that's all stuck down, except for this one I forgot to peel off. Hang on, peel off the backing. Okay, there's our first little floral layer, or leafy layer. These two are gonna go on with, I'm sorry, let's trim this. I said I was going to. Trim, trim. Okay, so that's how that piece looks. And we can stick that on the back of the card right now. That's gonna go here. That's where the fourth layer goes from the card base. So for these two, I just added a little bit of seal adhesive onto that circular little section here. This indicates where you layer with your other floral or foliage pieces, okay? So this one's gonna get angled this way, right on circle on top of circle. And this one's gonna get angled this way. So now we have that look, and now we want to cover up this circle. So we're going to take our sentiment that says thanks, and the other one is for all you do. You can see you have multiple languages on here. Oftentimes when I multiply kits, I turn and flip these pieces over and I stamp something on the other back side, so that you can use those as sentiment labels. So now let's take this piece and add a dimensional on each side of this circle. Peel off the backing, and we're gonna add that like that to our card. Oops. Got it so far? Okay, next, we're gonna put this on. Now, you could put it on over the top, but I kind of liked it tucked under these stems here so that the stems were still showing. So I'm just gonna put a little dimensional here and here so that it has a wide enough gap to kind of like encircle those stems as we slide it underneath them. So we're just going like this, and we're pushing it up to the sentiment like that. Then we'll take this piece and we'll add it with glue dots, of which I am running low on, so I need to make sure I get another box. We'll stick one on the back side there and one sort of off to the right, but not all the way to the right, because this one kind of comes off the edge. So I have one here and I have one here, but nothing right there, because we're gonna kind of off-center that and stick that across like that. The wonderful thing about a fun fold like this is that when you close it, you still have areas out here and here. Like if you wanted to, you could have a layer that sticks out that far beyond the middle section. Does that make sense? Oh, thank you. Yes, junk journal items. You totally could use this for junk journaling. It's got that nice, I don't know, kind of eclectic kind of look to it. Not eclectic, what's the word I'm looking for? Aesthetic, is that the word? I don't know. It's got an artsy kind of feel to the card, right? With the sun print kind of look on the background. Then the last thing is just to embellish, but we'll embellish that in just a minute. Let's move on to the next card. We're going to use our thank you on this one and our so very much. So here's the base that we need for this one. Here are the floral layers we need. This one's also very delicate, but just, you know, it's attached to the base piece very, very lightly. So as long as you're pulling it delicately out of there, you shouldn't have any tears. Just be careful is all I'm saying. Okay, so then we have these. Oh, I forgot to put the backside layers on. We'll do that too. We'll do that towards the end with the embellishments. I'm gonna stack that over there. And then for this one, we need this piece and these pieces. Here we go. Are we ready? So on the front, we will add this layer. And that's going to get positioned between the two score lines. You want to have an 1/8 of an inch border all the way around. Then we will look at these two pieces and see which one connects, and it's this one. So this one's going to go here. We'll flip it over and add that here, like that. See how the design flows? I love that. And then this one we will add over here. You could add it really either way. You could add this one upside down because it doesn't look like there's any flowers that are tipped upside down if we do that. I kind of like that. I'm doing that. This one's gonna get a little different than the one that's photographed on the blog post. This one's gonna go the other way. Stick that down here. Okay. Yeah, I kind of like the balance of the leaves heavy down here instead. Next. Let's see here. This piece is going to go on next. So we're going to apply that flat. This one's going to go on flat. And it's going to fill in, because it's the same width, it's going to fill in this lower white space on this front panel. So now it looks like it's made up of 1, 2, 3 sections. Do you see that? Pretty cool. Let's take and add our white with a dimensional here, and then some smaller dimensionals, mini ones, here, here, here. Oh gosh, there, I guess we'll put them there. Wherever you want them, just so that, again, you have kind of an even lifting of that foliage. Okay, that's gonna go on. And again, because I don't have any right at the top, I can kind of like edge my way wherever it needs to sit before sticking it down. And then this piece, flip it over, add your adhesive on the back, and that's gonna go across like that. Okay, there's that so far. So pretty. Now we have the circle, and the circle is going to dip down a little bit below that circle. So we're going to put 2 more dimensionals to the right and left of that one to create a nice tripod kind of base. This gets added. Let's flatten this down. This gets added right below the circle, making sure the thank and the U look like they're parallel to the base of the card, even from side to side, and stick that down. And then this one is going to get added with 2 mini dimensionals right on the outer edges. 1, 2. So I've got them on the outer edge of those 2 ends there. Peel off the backings, and we're going to take and put this so it's touching the bottom of the circle and almost coming up to the U, but not quite. And right about there. The back sides. Let's look at the back sides of these cards and then we'll embellish. So let's flip that over. For these, we're just going to add them like we did the other side panels. When you do this, you want to make sure that your pattern is, thanks Heidi, you want to make sure that your pattern for your lines here looks like it's flowing together with the other piece. This way looks better to me, so I want to make sure that I put it on there. Because it's a large enough pattern where you might be able to tell the difference. Thanks, Marie. Oh, and thanks for the reminder about the thumbs up, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel too so that you can get notifications. So there's that. On the back side, we want to add this, but we have these tiny little pieces. And so we can't do the same thing we did over here, can we? So let me add these, and then I'll show you what I did on another card. It's pretty simple. And you use your grid paper to help you out with it. Okay, we're going to add 1. Then we're going to check the pattern. And this looks better this way. We'll add 2. Okay, so for the back side of this one, before we stick this down, we're going to take and put these 2 pieces side by side, flip them over, add our seal adhesive together at the same time, peel them apart, take 1 and add it to the corner, then lay it in your grid paper so that your corner of your paper is lined up with lines on your grid paper. Then you can just take and do like kind of like a little mark here and here. Flip it, put that paper back in that spot. Otherwise your angles are going to look different, so you want to keep your angles looking the same. Lay this down right in there. And now you can take these pieces and trim. I flipped it over so I can trim, following the edge of my large rectangle. Oops. There we go. So there's another design you can do if you forget to cut that strip off beforehand. You can also stamp on here before you stick it down, just in case you know, have trouble stamping. Sometimes we get those little halos around it, so you could stamp, and if you make a mistake, flip it over, you have the back side. Let's stick that right in here. So there's the back side of the cards. Here's the front side without embellishments. Let's do our embellishments really quick. Grab the Take Your Pick tool, cleaning up my area here. Okay, for the Take Your Pick tool, it's awesome because you have this little gummy end here, and I just like to push it into a little ball, grab it, and lift it. And now I have this little embellishment right on the end of my Take Your Pick tool. And I'm going to add 1 here, a small one, another large one, and a small one. I think on the finished cards in the brochure little pamphlet thingy, they do have 5 about on each card, so you could do 5. An odd number is visually better, but I thought this kind of got too full, so I just stuck with 4 on that one. There's 4 on that one, and then on this one I just used 3. So let me show you where I put those. I put one kind of peeking out under these leaves here, and then I did a couple up here in this blank spot, like that. So there's the finished cards. There are the 2 finished cards that have the white bases, okay? And now I want to show you some variations of those 2 because, again, like if you just change out the cardstock on the background, you can get a whole different look. So let's change out the background so that it's using the coordinating cardstock. So instead of using white for the background, you could use Peaceful Pine cardstock. And then you have this a little bit warmer look, more cohesive, not so choppy. It kind of blends together because it's more monochromatic, right? Everything flows. Or you could even take the dark color that is on the sentiment strip right here and turn it into a nice dark background so that it pops bright, like that just pops out, right? This here shines, this pops, I guess is how I would describe it. So you have some options here for your card bases. You have the basic white or any white. You have your Secret Sea cardstock and you have your Peaceful Pine. Now let's switch to the pink card and see, thank you everybody. Let me show you what the pink looks like in the 3 different versions. So let's replace these. 1, 2, 3. Here's your white base. For the color that's making it more monochromatic, there was, what was it? Flirty Flamingo listed here, Flirty Flamingo and Calypso Coral. And I tried both of them, I really did. But I just felt like it didn't blend enough. So instead, I looked at what this really light pink was closest to. And in our Stampin' Up! Color line, it's closest to Bubble Bath. So that would be more of the monochromatic flow of the design, okay? And then we have the Secret Sea. There's Secret Sea, again, using that dark color. I think I had them positioned this way so you could see all the differences. So yeah, this really makes the center part pop with the dark background. This makes everything shine nice and bright because you've got the white. And this makes everything kind of flow together really well. So just wanted to show you those different variations based on what color cardstock you choose for your background. That's all you have to add, right? Your cardstock, and then of course your extra envelopes because you're cutting into the kit envelopes. So what cards inspired these? So I told you again that I went on a retreat, a one-day retreat. It's called the Silver Elite Retreat that my upline hosted. And she had us do some fun make and takes while we were there. We got to make 4 cards, and these are 3 of them. I'm going to zoom in. This one here is using, well, they all are, all the 3 of these next ones are using the Words and Wishes dies. Let me show you those. I didn't know I did not have these. When I was at her event, I'm like, I don't have these? Why don't I have these? I know I had this on my wish list and I never got them. These are shown, I believe, in the March through August, or the May through August catalog. So look at, they've got layering, so you could do happy birthday, thank you, best wishes for you. It's like you can layer these up. So one die is the actual word and the other is like the bubble around it. So these are the Words and Wishes dies. You also get the leaves from it. These leaves were cut out from the designer paper, and this designer paper is the Valley and Bloom designer paper. This paper here is the Luxe White specialty paper. Look how pretty that is. So gorgeous. They're from the same suite, that designer paper and the specialty paper. Okay, so that's one card. On the back side, we have more of the designer paper. So here's designer paper, here's more of the designer paper. And then here's another card that she designed that we get to put together. This is using the Violet Dreams designer paper. This one just debuted this month in July. So Violet Dreams, and we used, oh, and I forgot to tell you the cardstock color. This cardstock color here is Pretty Peacock for the words, and underneath is more of that Luxe specialty paper. Can you see that? There we go. There's the Luxe specialty paper. This stuff here underneath the Pretty Peacock. Okay. Then we have on this card, again, Violet Dreams. I'm going to scroll through my list of supplies here to make sure I share everything. Shimmering Stripes is the background underneath the lettering. The lettering is done with gorgeous grape cardstock. And then do you see there's a tiny little flower that's kind of sparkling underneath the word you? This here is also something that you can get in the Violet Dreams suite. So this paper is part of it, these flowers are part of it, and then of course there's a bundle and all that stuff. You can buy them separately too, but I just wanted to point out that this coordinates with it, or is meant to, and it's called the Adhesive Back Blooms. Really, really pretty flowers. Here's the back side of that card. I don't have these two cards or this third one photographed in my blog post, so you'll want to make sure that you always watch videos for the instruction and for all those extras. This is the third card we got to make. This one is more fall themed, and this paper is not available yet. This paper is coming out on September 1st. It's debuting Tuesday, September 1st in the September through December. I want to say it's the September through December mini catalog, but it could be a batch of online exclusives. I can't remember. Anyways, she got her hands on this because she attended the last incentive trip that I cashed out on. I'm so sad. But this was one of the prizes they got to take, and it is called so you can write it down. It's called, where is it? Luxe White, Pretty Peacock, Early Espresso. Oh, I have it at the very bottom. It's at the very bottom. It's called Sunflower Fields Designer Paper. So again, if you're looking at the description of the video or in my blog post, it's listed separately because I can't link it yet. So this is the Sunflower Fields Designer Paper. Both these papers come from it, and this one back here. It's layered onto Early Espresso cardstock. Early Espresso is the base for the lettering, and on top of the lettering is gold foil, which is what the leaves were also done in, was gold foiling. Okay. Okay, I'm checking. Okay, so now those are her three cards. I did not photograph them. They're not on my blog, showing on my blog. You just have to peek at them this way in the video. But now I did photograph this one. This is one that I designed yesterday. Real simple and sweet, but I got a batch of beautiful paper in an order yesterday or the day before, and I was like, I have to use this. This is that black and white paper called Artisan Sketched Garden. It's so amazing. Look here's another layer of it. So you get this paper, you get a sheet with a bunch of vases on it. There's a ton of beautiful papers in it. The ribbon and this color are hydrangea hue. So hydrangea hue cardstock, hydrangea hue ribbon. These are rhinestones. So the rhinestone basic jewels, one of my favorites. And yes, it could be used for late summer too. She's talking about the sunflower paper. Yes, Susan, you're right. And then we have, let's see, the words. Where are the words from? The words are from a stamp set that I also got in my order yesterday. Begonia Belle is a new product of the month for this month of July. With a $75 order in the month of July in the US, that's the US pricing, you can add a product of the month for $5. This is the July product of the month. So I placed a $75 order at the beginning of July, $75 plus, added this for $5, and it came a couple days ago. So super pretty. And this is the stamp set that I used, or the stamp image that I used on the card. And you can see I stamped it in kind of like a little brick pattern. I did that with my Stampin' Positioner. This is just the little extra positioning tool that comes with it, right? And I mounted my stamp on there using the grid line so it's nice and straight. And then I could just stamp it down and shift it and stamp it. And I used the grid paper and this little thing here to help create that nice straight patterning across there. So that is the fourth card, actually the 10th, if you think about it, because we just did 6 with the kit and then 4 more. And this is my 11th card with this same kind of fold, okay? So this one is using Begonia Belle flowers. And I used, what was it, Crisp Cantaloupe? Yes, Crisp Cantaloupe ink for that. So we'll bring that over. We'll grab some white cardstock. Let me grab that right now. Use some white cardstock. And we're gonna stamp a flower, if that's okay. We'll stamp it on this piece here. So it's a 2-step stamp set in that 2 images or more come together to create a full image. So I've got them mounted and stuck together. You guys ever do that where you put your stamps on something and then you, oh gosh, Rachel. And then you put your stamps on top of each other. Hang on, it'll work. We'll get it. Might have to get a bone folder in there. We'll pry them open. Almost there. Oh, gosh, oh golly, gee whiz. Don't stick your stamps on top of each other. All right, so here's the Crisp Cantaloupe ink pad. We're gonna take our larger of the two designs, so this one here, and I'm gonna ink that up, but I'm gonna stamp it off onto my grid paper. Stamping off is the technique, or they call it second generation ink if you're using it the second time without stamping, or third generation if you're stamping off twice. Okay, so you may have heard those terms before. This larger one here has the petals on the outer ends. The petals on the outer ends tend to be lighter than the ones that are in the shadows, right? So this is gonna be my darker version of Calypso Coral. This is gonna be my lighter version. So I'm gonna start with this one just because it's easier for me. Inking it up. I'm gonna stamp it off onto my grid paper, off to the right, and press it evenly. Lift it up, and without re-inking it, oh, look at though, I do have a little flaw here. I'm gonna have to do that again. So a little bit of envelope paper from the kit. Let's try that again. Ink it, stamp it off to the right, or on your grid paper, wherever. Oh, Maria Christina wrote, "You are on fire, Rachel. You need more family breaks." So if you were reading my blog post, and I don't know if that's where you saw it, Maria Christina, or not, but my son is home, and then we went up to the cabin this weekend where my parents live and got to have a fun 4th of July weekend together. So I'm pressing this down on here. I'm going to lift it off. And you're going to see a little bit, because I didn't use my... Let's flip it over and do it a third time, Rachel. Sure. Stampin' Positioner. Or no, I'm sorry. Stampin'... What's this called? This is called the Stampin' Pierce Mat. I'm going to put it underneath my grid paper, because when I ink and stamp off, I need to have a cushion under there to make it evenly. There, that's much better. Okay, and then we'll put it on here, stamp it down. And now you'll see a nice even amount of light ink on there. Pretty even. Now we'll ink up this one, and this one we won't stamp off. We'll do it with full color. And you'll kind of see how the image fits together. You can kind of, as you go back and forth, you can kind of see how it fits together, and then line it up and stamp it down. And then let that sit, because this is the same cardstock as this. Do you see how it changed? It softened as it dried. The ink dried and turned into this look. So don't get too alarmed when you first ink up your paper with colors, because sometimes it can shift and change depending on the ink. But that's how I got those flowers. And so I just did them along the sides so that they kind of have a little circular framing motion. This is, as you can see, two-tone cardstock. I use two-toned Night of Navy. So this is the dark side, this is the light side, and on the flip side, here's the dark and here's the light. So I use two-tone to get that double kind of contrasting light to dark coloring. You can see I also made use of that idea that you can go beyond this framing here from the middle panel. So I took and looped some more of that beautiful in color ribbon. On that first card, or that card that I just shared with you, we did the hydrangea ribbon, okay? And then on this one, we're doing the crisp cantaloupe ribbon. And I just did 2 little loops that I stuck underneath here, because I wanted this to really just be the focal point, this gold lettering, the love you. And after I put that on there, I thought, okay, now I want to have some little speckles that kind of coordinate with this. And my favorite embellishments right now, oh my gosh, pearlized faceted circles. I am using a ton of these. They're just so pretty. And that blue coloring looks so great with that coral of the crisp cantaloupe. So the love you. Now you're saying to yourself, where did you get the love you? Let me share that with you. Oh, and did I show you the back? We have a little extra flower back there. Okay, so the back, where do we go? Where are we? Got so much on the table here. Okay, so the gold lettering is from a whole new line of products. This is our Stampin Hot Foil System. Demonstrators have known about this since March. We have had to be quiet about it for that long. This is not embossing. This kind of gold foiling is flat. Like it's you can't even feel any texture from the foiling to the paper. It's a flat, like, I don't know what they call it, some kind of thermal. It's thermal because it's using heat, and it adds the foiling to the paper. There's also dies, as you can see, that are within this product line. I'm going to be showing you a lot of this stuff on Fridays live at 10 a.m. this coming Friday, so you'll want to come back for that. But let me show you a few things. So this is the foil that gets applied to the cardstock, and then the heat happens, and then you peel this, and it's really, really cool because all of this sticks to the cardstock. And then you can die cut using your letters. Where are my letters? Hang on, I've got them here somewhere. Here they are. Then you can die cut using your letters, and you can get all these separate little letters, which is what I made the love you from. Okay? Really, really fun. Got letters and numbers in this one. So here are the regular dies. These are the ones that are the heat dies, the thermal dies. They feel differently. They're soft and very satiny feeling, and they work with a machine to do the foiling. Here's the front of that packaging. So you can see what the dies are. You can see what happens with the foil. And what else did I buy? Well, I had to get more sets. So I got these hot foil dies and this stamp to work together to make some projects. And I also got these dies and these hot foil dies. So this cuts and this does the hot foiling to make some beautiful butterfly stuff. This one also coordinates with a set of masks. Okay, let me show you the results of those two. So this one here, okay, I didn't use the stamps yet. The stamps, by the way, don't line up with these dies, but let me show you the results of using that one and these three to make a couple cards. And these are ones that we got to make at, well, actually one of them we got to make at Susan's June 28th Silver Elite Retreat event. So this is one. Is that just stunning, you guys? How many of you are demonstrators and had to keep your mouth quiet for a long time? Raise your hand if you had to keep this, like, you know, secure, secret. It was so hard because we were all so excited about it. We got to order it earlier, and now on July 10th, they're releasing it, and they're saying, go ahead and start sharing. So there is a brochure that you can click on in my blog post that you can shop from or just kind of, you know, peruse, and then you can see what you want to order. So make sure that you're visiting that blog post that's linked in the description of my video so that you can see all of that goodness, okay? So here's a card that we got to make at Susan's event. And here's one more because you can actually do 5 butterflies with that. Oop, that's blurry, sorry. And then this is a card that she made me, which you might have seen when I did a show and share last Wednesday. I guess I was live on Wednesday too. Last Wednesday I did a show and share showing cards that were gifted to me by my team. And this was her card that she gave me. And that, again, it's smooth. Like, there's no bumps, you guys. It's smooth. And so she made me that card. These words also are hot foiled. These words are. I don't have that set of words, but it's so pretty, you guys. It's gorgeous stuff. You're gonna love it. I love it. You guys are sharing if you were demonstrators that had to keep your mouth shut or not. This is so fun. Fun. So, yeah. So there's foil, and the foil comes in gold, silver, and a pink color. I don't have the pink color, but I have boxes of the foil. I have all the tools. These are the tools, you guys. This is the actual contraption that does all the wonderful stuff. You guys are going to love it. You're going to want to come back on Friday and see it all. Okay? So fun. Trying to think if there's anything else that I need to tell you about. If you do decide to place an order, You can order through me using my links. You can either go to my website and click on shop buttons, or you can go to below in the description of my video. You can shop through the actual links that are in the description of my video or my blog post. If you are a demonstrator, shop from yourself. Keep yourself active because it's fun to get the discount and be in on secrets like this. If you are not a demonstrator and you have a demonstrator, shop from them and spread the love. Let's see here. If you do order from me, you can earn loyalty points and all-star video tutorials. The new join process has begun. How many of you are new to being demonstrators because of that awesome kit that is now, like, there's a welcome kit with it. It's amazing. You'll want to check that out too. More information about that is in the bottom of every blog post that I have right now. And upcoming lives, the next one is this Friday at 10 a.m. Central Time. Trisha, you're a doll. I appreciate you so much for sticking around this whole entire hour. Trying to think, oh, and some of you are saying, I don't remember it in March. The only reason why I'm saying some of us knew about it in March is because we attended on stage. If you attended on stage, which was the Stampin' Up! Convention in Long Beach, we were given the heads up on it back then. And then they revealed it to the whole demonstrator base, I want to say a month or so later, maybe it was sooner. I don't know. That's when most, like, all the demonstrators knew about it, but a lot of us knew about it in March. Sorry if I confused some of you. What time on Friday? The Google Calendar didn't show. Let me do a quick little copy and paste here and open up a incognito window, bring you over there. Let's see if we can do this. Okay. Oh, you're right. I don't have it listed on there. It's Friday at 10 a.m. I need to add a little extra live here. I do have in my channel, there's already a link to that live. I just don't have a picture for it, but the link to the live is active. So you can access, getting there already. Thank you, Maria Christina, for pointing that out. Okay, I'm checking to see if there's any last minute comments, questions that I should be checking. I'm gonna look on my computer here too. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Yay, yay, okay. All right, we'll see you on Friday. And everybody in the meantime, have a great rest of your week. And now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. Bye-bye.